Hi, my friend. It's Pat Sloan here for our Monday night fireside chat. I love having this one in the evening because a lot more of you can come on during the premiere part. So we got our challenge first, and then I'm just going to have some chit chat about a bunch of different things. How's that sound? We're going to see how everybody's doing, touch base, but let's do the challenge first. It's April 20th. If you need the calendar, just get a link down below, here below the video, whether you're watching it at Facebook or YouTube. And I put all of our items, and today I did color time. So what is this challenge? You know what? Excuse me. I had to kind of make them up as I go along some days. I looked at this one yesterday and went like, what will the challenge be that has to do with color? I like that it gives me a little bit of freedom that way. I don't want each of these to be so, I don't want you to guess either, that's all. But I don't want it to be so locked in, like down and regimented and everything. I like it to be a little bit more free-flowing. What do I feel like talking about color? So our challenge is that I want you to go through your fabric and find something that you would like to build, to play around, to build a collection. So I'm going to show you what I mean by that. And I'm going to start with this butterfly fabric. Yeah, it's so pretty. I got this, I don't know, many weeks ago. I think I may have bought maybe a little bundle, or maybe not. Maybe I was just picking and choosing. But anyways, this butterfly print is, and I'll link you to it if it's still available. It's from Michael Miller. And I just love the image, the drawing, the little, I don't know, everything about it. It's just so pretty. So it needs friends. I can't make a quilt. Well, I could make a quilt with one piece of fabric, but I don't want to make a quilt with one piece of fabric. So your challenge is to build a collection around it. So let's take a look. Come down here. And what I did is, at the time that I ordered this, I also ordered some other fabrics, which is this stack. And I think this print, I was doing a project for the book, and I thought this print was going to work out, and it could have worked out, but it went sort of a different way. So I think this is beautiful with the butterflies. And they also ended up getting this white base print, which I think is the same collection as this one. And I love that little pops of blue in there. There's a big, so it's a little bit bigger print, a little bit bigger floral. Then I ended up with this yellow, which I'm not sure why I have two, but I have two. I don't know what that's about. Does that ever happen to you? You're just like, I don't know what's going on there. Now, if I lay this out, okay, then let me just show you one more. And then I got this. This is such a cool piece of fabric. I love dots, but I love that sort of texture behind it, which is actually a bunch of little dots. So when I'm laying this out, if I visually lay everything out with this piece of white on the top, what's your first impression? It doesn't go, because it's so big a piece of it. And of course, there's no pattern or anything at this point, so you don't know how that would be used. So when I'm trying to build a collection, I will take pieces like this that I want to try to work in there, because this butterfly has a lot of lights in it, all along this ferns, and even all the way out to the ombre that came all the way out to the edge is more creamy. So what I would like to do is take this, and we just show a little bit of it, so that we sort of say, you know, I just want a little bit of that in here. And just like the dark looks really good against this. It looks really good over here, but if you just have it by itself, like if I were to take one dark away, that wouldn't look so good. It's like it needs a friend. It needs another dark. So here is something that can lay out. Now, there are sort of these peachy tones. Let me get you a little bit closer here. So there's these peachy tones in the butterflies, but then I have it picked up sort of pinky peachy in the roses on there. But what I'd like to do is add into here another peach color. So I have brought over my basket of peach fabrics. So let's move this. Now this side has really more orange, so we aren't going to work on that side unless a peach, oh there's a peach one that got stuck in there by accident. It happens, right? I try to keep the peach on one side, and some of them are sort of half and half. Like that could be, this one here could be more peachy than, same with this one. They're less orangey in real life, you know, than more peach. So how do they look? So what I'm trying to do is look at them against the butterfly. That's not bad. This one's nice because it's much more just textural and doesn't have as big a print, although I don't mind the big prints. I'm a big print person. I love mixing big prints. So here was the other one that I had sort of shoved off onto the wrong side. So there's that has another more big print on it. But I'm liking, because I have several there with big prints, so I'm liking this smaller print. But I would just keep those just in case. And then there's other lighter shades, like here is a really light peach. So how does that look against it? It's in the very lightest shades of the butterfly wings. So I just kind of look to see, whoops, sorry about that, look to see how it looks there. So that could be, you know, there could be two. Let's come back out here. So I'm on the corner here. So there's the butterfly. So if I was doing this and then I want to be sure I get the flowers there, have the peach, maybe I do it like this, shade them across. So I sort of build this collection across the range. So I've got from the golds, I've got the little pop of white, which may or may not work out. I may have to actually get something else because it's got a lot of white, but it depends on what pattern I'm going to use. I might need a light, but I might need to have maybe a really pale yellow. That might be where I go because there's yellows and yellows. Maybe I need to go super, super soft, buttery, pale yellow. But I like these peaches in here, so I feel like that makes a more complete unit to start working with. Of course, I could add to it or take away from it. You know, nothing is set in stone. It's all things that can be negotiated with yourself, basically. You know, how do you like that collection? So, ta-da! This is your challenge. This is today's challenge. Is all about color. Find one piece in your fabric and build something around it. Now, some of you are going to say, well, how many? At least 5. Take it, make your little sample at least 5. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7. Do an odd number, 5, 7, or more than that. 3 is too few. I mean, how often do you make a quilt with this 3 fabrics? Not, you know, you can, but it's, you know, it's harder to find a pattern that will excite you enough to make the whole thing with 3 fabrics. You know, I get bored. It's like I need to have a bit more going on than 3 fabrics myself. So, you know, see what you can find. See if you can find, you know, that sort of sweet spot. Yeah, the sweet spot of your number of fabrics. Okay, that's your challenge for today. I actually like that. I'm going to keep that bundle. And I might try to find a pattern that I like to do that with, because this will segue into the other thing I've been thinking about. Is I've been doing a lot of, you know, we do a lot of samplers because they're fun, and you know, you get to try something new, and each week it's something different, or each, you know, whatever. But I haven't sort of, except for the stuff I've been doing for the book, I haven't really gone full out into one quilt, just, you know, make that quilt. So I noticed I had out in my drawer here and I got in my rolling assistant back here. I've got the rolling assistant out. But I noticed from the other few weeks ago when I had this Mackinac Island charm packs, I thought, those are nice and summery. Look at this. I'll show you. They are so summery. Red, pink. Yeah, look at that pink. Oh my gosh. Pink with red dots. I don't know why that doesn't, that looks awesome. It's like, so this is just so summery, so summery. And right in that same rolling cart still, I think sometimes it's serendipity if something's there. Charm packs, the Perfect 5 quilts. These are all quilts done with charm packs with 5-inch squares. So if you don't have charm packs, you can use 5. And then I love the rulers that work with these. You know, this came with the book. This well, it doesn't come with the book. You can get it separate. But I like using the specialty ruler. So I'm thinking, okay, so I just have 2 of those. And what's nice is in the book, they do give you quilts that'll use like 1 charm pack. Okay, so like here. So like that says, you know, it's got like 1 charm pack. So I could find one in here that has 2 charm packs, and then I could just make it. Let's see, I'm gonna look real quick. Do I see a 2 charm pack? I know they have them. I'm gonna get one charm pack. Ah, there's a 2 charm pack. So this one's a 2 charm pack with a lot of nice, you know, it's alternating blocks. So that way the quilt is 60 by 77. And that takes 2 charm packs. And I'll bet you that there's another one with 2 charm packs, which is, I'll show you it. So, and that one takes background, but you see, I'm trying not to get glare, that it's a lot, you know, it doesn't have the setting, the alternate setting. Is this one too? Yes, I like this one. This one is 2 charm packs. Oh, there we go. I think that's it. That one is called the Pinwheel Cookie Quilt. I like that one. I like that one. And it says it's 48 by 60. So it's, you know, and then you can put a border on it. You get some of that Mackinac Island fabric. But it says 2 charm packs, 72 5-inch squares. All right. When am I going to start this? I don't know. I don't know. But I'm going to put it out. I might just cut it, you know, like when I'm doing some other stuff, just take a break and cut some and have them cut up. The fun part about doing that is that I can kind of maybe sew it while I'm sewing other things. One of the nice things is, for those of you who have wondered about my book, it's pretty much delivering this week. I have to do some binding. I've gotten all the patterns written. Yay! So I don't usually talk about the process like that, so I don't know if you enjoyed hearing about it for the never-ending time that I seem to still be working on it, but that's how books are, because I can't stop my regular part of my business to write the book. It doesn't work like that, so I have to fit it in, so I might only work on it 1 day a week. That might be all I can do, because I have to I can't just work on it at night. You know, some stuff I can work on at night, but if I'm doing the writing or I'm designing parts of it or doing like the more heavy thinking of where does the fabric go and all that kind of stuff, that all has to be done during the day when I'm fresh and I'm at my best. So this time it just took a lot longer, but it's going to be delivered. Yay! Then it's 6 months before you see it in the fall. That's just the way it works. Maybe even a little bit longer due to all the things that are going on, because nobody's work mode is exactly the way it should be right now. And so they might be having to push things back a little bit, deadlines, you know, and deliverables to get caught up. So I will let you know again when it gets closer, but I would call it pretty much done now. I would call it, you know, there's so little left, and then I'll be submitting everything final to my editor. Yay, Martingale. So yeah, the people who publish rather my my books. It's like celebrate the seasons. So in that one, that's what the tulips are from. I put the happy purple tulips with the big polka dots up there. I love that. Now I think I should have made that one as a full quilt. So there's a full-size quilt. And if you never noticed, I pointed this out the other day, but some of the tulips have a heart in them. So I like that. I didn't do that on the purple ones, but I don't really have a ton of purple fabric, which is probably the reason why I just did 4 blocks at the time. But that was last year when I did that one. So let's talk about silly stuff, okay? So how are you doing? How are you doing with everything? Have you cut your own bangs yet? You'll see mine will be down, and then sometimes it'll be the side. And I have trimmed them twice already. It's like, and I'm getting ready to put on some liquid sunshine myself, which I have done in the past. I just prefer to have Miss Kim do it for me because Miss Kim is much better at it and does pretty highlights, which I cannot simulate, you know, so I don't have that skill myself on the back of my head and everything. So I will be doing, my Nana used to call it liquid sunshine. That was, I think that was actually the name of the color on her dye box. I think she showed me that once when I was in college because, you know, that's what she did. She was a redhead. So my Nana, of course, my other grandma also colored her hair black. She colored her hair black because she wanted to show she had black hair all her, most of the, you know, long time that I knew, and then all of a sudden it was brilliant white. So she had very white hair when she stopped dyeing it. Also, I have done my nails. One of the problems with doing my nails is that I was actually almost out of nail polish remover. So I need to get that on the list for pickup. Hey, so you like tired of cooking? Oh my gosh, I'm tired of cooking. It's like thinking of, and we're just going to the grocery store like every 10 days. You know, we're thankful that we can, but we also, you know, like it starts to get really challenging after about 7 days. It's like, what can I cobble together? What can we do? Greg does some of the meals. I do some of the meals. You know, it's both of us taking it on since we've done that for years. It's just 2 of us. So we sort of share that back and forth. I'll be glad when I can just go to the grocery store myself. Yeah, he's doing that part, the grocery runs, so that we're both not out and about, just one of us, which is a good plan right now. Okay, I wanted to talk about decorating a little bit and show you the book. Show you a book, because I like to change the quilts out in my living room, but because I was trying to stay very focused and not really take off any time in the last few months, just pretty much working every day, that I decided I would not take the time to go and search up another set of quilts to transfer out in my living room from the winter one. So I have all the pretty blue and whites pretty much in there, which is really pretty, but I'm done now with that. I want the summery, you know, sort of summery colors. So I've been trying to think the flower bouquet quilt. I really, really love that quilt, how it ended up from our sew along. And it looks really good hanging on the wall. I had it up for a while. So I'm thinking of pulling that one and then pulling some other pieces that are similar colors, because that has a lot of sort of greens in it and yellows. It's really soft, you know, it's not a high contrast quilt. I've also decorated in there with sort of like red, white, and blue type things, which I like as well. But I am thinking I'm going to take the flower bouquet and then find a few other pieces that have similar colors. I have a green, if I can find it, I have a green Lady of the Lakes, that green and cream that I really like. Okay, so the other thing I like to do is make pillows. And so I recover several pillows that are in my living room all the time. And I have, sometimes I'll make a new cover. So there's a book that my friend Adita did called Pillow Talk that has, here you can see the back of it, with all the pillows. They are so fun. There's just, she has all kinds of styles, and you can just, I'll hold it there a second. But you can see there's some that are applique, there's some that are patchwork, some that are super easy, like, where is it, like this one here. That's super easy. And I like this diagonal patchwork one. And then she actually did like little kits. So you can just buy, and they're all in her fabric line, so you can just buy a little package that has all the fabric in it. And if it's applique, then there's, those shapes are pre-cut in there. So you can see that particular one. So I was looking through here just for a patchwork one, and I kind of liked, see, it's got the right colors. That's probably what attracted me to it. So I kind of like this simple one right here with the pluses. These are big pillows, so I would probably make one each time to change out from the big pillow size, maybe two. But I need to get some pillow forms because they're 18 inches. I think I have one big pillow form, but I need another one. It's like, here's one of the nice applique ones. Isn't that a darling? So whenever there's a kit for those, she pre-cuts everything. So I'm sort of fond of this right now, thinking, well, that's a small project. You know how I said I really wanted to make something and kind of complete it? That's what I'm looking for, something. And then plus doing like something like this, which takes a little bit more time. Of course, these are the summery. These are the red, white, and blue type colors. So I may look around. Maybe I have some charm packs that I can do, or make my own. You could cut 5-inch squares and make your own set of squares to use with the book. You don't have to have a pre-cut. Or you can use a layer cake cut in 4, or you can use a Jolly Bar cut in 2. That'd be 2 charm packs. A layer cake cut in 4 is 4 charm packs. I actually have a gray and yellow layer cake over there that might be pretty in this too. With white, yeah, be nice and crisp to go with the flower bouquet, which has some green. Maybe I'll pop some green squares in there. See, gotta start thinking. I have to make quilts to decorate the space, because that's the way I think. That's the way I think. Is that nuts? Do you do that? Do you think, I need to decorate this space, so I'm going to make a quilt? I think a lot of us are attracted to the fabric first, and then the pattern comes along. But the fabric might not be that you're attracted to it for filling a particular need. And that's kind of where I am right now. I've made a lot of quilts. So now I'm like looking to build a collection of pieces in certain colors to put in my living room, because that's really where I end up changing most of the stuff out. Yep, that's it. So we have our stay-at-home block today, and I went digging around in the bins. This has been so much fun. Are you digging around? I know some of you have actually finished your whole quilt. You just use fabrics, like similar fabrics, and made a quilt, and they're gorgeous. They're just such a fun block. But here is what I picked. So I went digging around, and this is a dress form, and I had done an apron out of this at one point. I still have like at least a yard or more of this fabric of the dress forms. And I like that because I learned to sew by making clothing. So who else learned to sew by making clothing? And where did you learn to make clothing? Where did you learn to sew by making clothing? I learned in 9th grade home ec class. That's where I went to Miss Orr. We also did cooking and baking, and that's where my love of baking just like zoomed off. The cooking part, I don't know how much of that we did, but we did a lot of baking. I actually entered a contest, and I don't remember if I got anything or not, but it was fun to enter. So when I took 9th grade home ec, I had not sewn at all. I had never sat at a sewing machine. We did not have a sewing machine in the house. Since my mothers and grandfathers, my grandparents, nobody sewed. My great-grandparents didn't sew. So everything about it was new for me, and I loved it. Every single thing about it. I was nothing I didn't love. I have no bad memories at all from home ec class. So I had to have the dress form fabric because I really want one of these. I really want a dress form, you know, like a vintage, like to sit as a display. I don't really have space. I have no space in here. There's no space in here for it. I'd have to, you know, get rid of my desk or something. It's not going to happen. So I'd have to put it in my dining room or my living room or my bedroom, which I could do. But I haven't found one that I haven't made a huge effort, but I haven't found one. It doesn't have to be vintage. They make new ones, but I don't want one that's cloth covered. I want one that's more wiry. Maybe a cloth top. I don't know. I have to look. So do you have one? Do you have a dress form? Do you use it? Do you decorate with it? Yeah, they're nice. So that is my block. And so now I have a true confession. How many of you are like cutting these, you know, off? You're doing like when we do our block, you know, we trim. Whoops, here I'm showing. When you do your block, you trim all these. I now have this stack, all of these. There's 4 per block, so they multiply. And I have, you know, sewn a group of them. I have a baggie. There's a baggie of them. Several of you took 4 of these and made a pinwheel and then trimmed it to the size for the sashing, which is super clever and super nice. And I wish I had thought of that to put it in there. But I didn't, and then I didn't think to even start doing it until, you know, I've been going on a little while, so I don't know what I'm going to do with these. I haven't decided if I'm actually going to finish sewing them up. I pretty much am doing them as I start and stop, so they're not, you know, it's just then I have to press them open and trim them. But they would make a cute little maybe strip down the back of the quilt. I had thought about doing them as another border, but I don't want to do that now. So maybe a strip on the back, or I could do a bunch of little mug rugs out of them because they'll be cute. Don't know. I'm not feeling the love on that one. So those have stacked up a little ways because I was doing other things. Okay, reminder, and then I want to give the goodie bag away. Okay, reminder. Whee! If you cross stitch or you want to cross stitch, Stitch Mania with the Fat Quarter Shop is a mystery called, what is it? Feels Like Home. And there you can see the first segment is this absolutely super cute, darling little bird. And I am going to stitch mine on probably the tan. You know, 10 Ada, which is pretty big. So like so you could do smaller. They're doing theirs on, you know, bigger cloth means your piece will be larger. They're doing theirs on 25 count, which, you know, I'm a baby cross stitcher, so that's just impossible for me to think about. It would not be fun. That would not be fun. This is fun for me. I'm doing, what am I doing, 12? Is that the next one down? I think for the Bloomtopia. And I've gotten used to it. But I actually like this because I just want this to be fun. I don't want this to be work. So you can get it in white. You can get it in the kind of like the burlap color. And then I'll link you to all this. And then if you just want to get a packet of floss that has all the colors to do the mystery, you can just order that. And this is a download. You know, you get the supply list when you buy the pattern, and then every week, and there's a I forget, it's like 5 weeks, I think. Then you'll get an email with the next mystery segment. So yes, I'm excited. I'm excited to do that. It's something fun, something different. I want to get an email every week. You know, I like that part. I don't have to think it up. Somebody else has thought it up. It's just to do for fun. I'm going to make a pillow out of it, though, when it's done. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be a pillow. You could do a table runner. I thought about that. And I might change my mind because I could put this block in the middle and then on either side do some fabric or patchwork that goes with it. That would be kind of cute, because this is going to be, feels like home, might be very much going with my sort of summery, light feel of my living room decorating. So that might be what I do, make the table runner. Okay. We have a goodie bag to give away this week, and it's got this fabric bundle and thread, and you all left comments, got the little journal in there, and so the comments, they were fun. The question was, what was your favorite ruler? And what was interesting was just to read what your favorite rulers are. I mean, I would probably pick for myself, the favorite rulers that I use all the time are 6.5 inch square, a 6.5 by 24.5 inch, long ruler, and then I like the 12.5 inch squares too. Like, those are my go-tos. But I have like specialty rulers that I really love, like these that are made to use with the books and things like that. But I like the random number picker. So Deb Somerville, which I will email you. So Deb said her favorite ruler is the 5 by 15, which I thought, okay, I'm so glad she told me why, because that is not a common size ruler, but she does a lot with pre-cuts. And so that size ruler lets her use it efficiently to cut layer cakes and jolly bars and charm packs, because of the size of the 5 inch, and the 15 inch goes across the diagonal, across the length of the layer cakes really nicely. So that was cool. So Deb, I will email you for the goodie bag. Okay, this has been fun. Just relax this time. Relax chat. Hope you like it. I am going to be doing the May challenge, daily challenges. Daily challenges in May. Yes, I will do them. I'll do a calendar. So later this week, this is Monday, later this week, might be Friday or Saturday, I will get a post up with the May calendar and a little surprise I've dug up. A little surprise bonus surprise for that. So we'll do May challenges, but I will also have a survey out of my Facebook group, and then I'll repeat the question when I put that out back. But we need to name May. It has to be. I was not very clever for April activities. It's not fun. It's not fun to say. So we need to have a May name, and I have some of you gave me some suggestions. I looked up some words, so I'll have a little poll of them to pick from. Thank you for using my links. Thank you for subscribing. All of that helps support my small family business. When you subscribe, that does help me, because it tells YouTube that I have a lot of people who like to watch this, and so they make sure that they show my videos to people when they're searching and things like that. It's all how it works. So if you help whenever you subscribe, and you help me whenever you leave comments here at YouTube, all of that shows YouTube that I have a very active community, which I do. You are amazing. Mwah, mwah. I love you. I love you very much. Take it easy, and I will see you online. Bye-bye.